Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are saying goodbye to sweaters and hello to swimsuits because we are diving into the Phuket property market.
It's always an exciting market.
Yeah.
People thinking about maybe trading in some of those vacation days for a more permanent address.
Exactly. And we actually got a ton of articles from you all about this. Clearly a hot topic. And luckily, we have a great overview from Ocean Worldwide Phuket Real Estate. And it breaks down all those key things. Prices,
Yes.
property types, location. And the best part is it was just published on October 7th, 2024.
Oh, wow.
So we know we're working with the very latest information.
That's key, especially in a market as fast-paced as Phuket.
Oh, absolutely. Out-of-date info is the last thing you want when you're making these kinds of decisions.
Exactly.
So getting right into it.
Yeah.
This article throws out a pretty eye-popping number.
Okay.
The median property price in Phuket
Yeah.
is a whopping $6,400,000.
Wow. Yeah, that is a significant figure.
Right. I saw that and I was like, time to buy a few more lottery tickets.
Of course, it is essential to remember that that number represents a really wide range of properties. We were talking about everything from small studios up to sprawling luxury villas overlooking the ocean.
And you can't compare those two.
Exactly. But that median price does tell us that there's something for a lot of different budgets in Phuket.
Right.
But like any real estate market, the real story lies in the details.
For sure. For sure. And the article does give some more specifics, even comparing a luxurious 5-bedroom villa. And I'm picturing this right on the beach in Patong.
Yes. Prime real estate. Yeah.
Exactly. Compared to like a townhouse nestled in Phuket town.
It really highlights how important location is. You know, Patong with its nightlife, the beaches, Phuket town with a more historical, cultural experience.
Totally different vibes.
Exactly.
Both amazing in their own way, but definitely totally different approach. So for someone who's maybe new to all of this, what do those price differences actually look like?
So if you are maybe interested in a smaller studio apartment, you could potentially enter the market for around $3,760,000.
Okay.
Now, if you're thinking about more of a spacious, family-sized 3-bedroom villa, the average price there goes up to about $16,000.
Okay.
And of course, if you are thinking about luxury, those beachfront villas, those can easily exceed $26,700,000.
So those are some concrete numbers.
Yeah.
But you mentioned price per square meter, and the article mentions that too, and how that can really change depending on what type of property we're talking about.
Right, and this is where it gets interesting because you might think that a huge villa would have a lower price per square meter than a tiny studio.
Right, you would think that.
But that's not always the case.
Interesting.
In Phuket, studios in really popular areas can have a surprisingly high price per square meter.
Oh, wow.
Compared to those larger properties.
So it's like you're not just paying for the square footage.
Right.
You're paying for the lifestyle.
Exactly.
The convenience.
It's about understanding what drives demand in specific areas and for specific types of property.
That makes a lot of sense.
And speaking of areas, the article highlighted a few locations that I think are worth looking into a bit further. Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
Phuket Town, Kathu, and Thalong.
Ooh. I'm picturing it now. What makes those areas stand out?
Well, we already talked about Phuket Town,
Right.
that authentic Thai experience, the history, the culture.
Yeah.
Then you've got Kathu, which is kind of an interesting mix.
Okay.
You're near the action of Patong,
Right.
but it's a little more relaxed.
Best of both worlds.
Exactly. And then Thalong,
Yeah.
if you want tranquility, bigger properties,
Okay.
more space, Thalong might be the one.
Sounds like there's a little something for everyone.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're getting lost in the fantasy here, but let's be practical for a second. The article mentioned the legal side of things, which can get a little complicated.
Definitely important, and it can get tricky.
Yeah, especially for foreign buyers, right? Navigating those legalities is super crucial. But the good news is foreigners can own property in Thailand.
Okay, good to know.
There are just some specific rules you need to be aware of.
Okay, so walk me through it.
Yeah.
What are the key things someone should know?
The main thing is foreigners can't directly own land.
Okay.
However, you can own a condo unit.
Okay.
But there's a limit on that.
What's that?
Foreign ownership in any given condo building is capped at 49%.
Okay.
The other 51% has to be owned by Thai nationals.
So it's like a shared ownership model.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Now, for those who really want to own a house or land, there's another option.
Okay.
Setting up a Thai limited liability company.
Okay, an LLC? That sounds a little intimidating.
It's a well-established path to foreign ownership.
Okay.
So essentially with an LLC, a foreigner can own up to 49% of the shares in the company,
Right.
with Thai nationals holding the remaining 51%.
Got it.
So it gives you a controlling interest in the property, even though you don't directly own the land itself.
It's like a workaround.
Exactly.
Clever. Okay, that makes sense. What about things like property taxes?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, is it the same for foreigners or are there different rules there?
Property taxes are generally lower in Thailand than in a lot of other countries.
Oh, good to know.
And there aren't separate tax rates for foreign owners.
Okay, good.
But you still need to know about the different types of property taxes that apply.
Right, of course.
Things like transfer fees, stamp duty, withholding tax.
Fine print.
Exactly. And that's why I always recommend talking to an expert, a tax advisor or a lawyer who really knows Thai property law.
Yeah, they can help you navigate all of that.
Exactly. They can guide you through the process, make sure everything's done right.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that.
Exactly.
Especially in a foreign country.
Right.
Better safe than sorry. Okay, so we've covered property types, locations, legal stuff. What about the overall market trends in Phuket?
This is where it gets really interesting, especially if you're looking at Phuket as an investment.
Yeah, because the article did mention that Phuket's market is really tied to its tourism,
Oh, absolutely.
which has obviously had its ups and downs in recent years.
Right. The connection between tourism and real estate in Phuket is undeniable.
Mhm.
Historically, we've seen property values going up steadily,
Right.
largely driven by how popular the island is as a tourist destination.
Makes sense.
The article actually said that the average price per square meter in Phuket
Yeah.
is a bit higher than the national average.
Interesting.
That shows you how desirable the island is.
Yeah, it really does have this magical pull for people. It's like a place to escape.
Exactly. It's that mix of the natural beauty,
The beaches.
the culture,
That's
and of
India.
course the dream of owning your own little piece of paradise.
Who wouldn't want that?
Right. And that dream is still driving demand.
So it sounds like there's a lot of potential for growth in the Phuket property market. But like with any investment, there are always things that could change, right?
Oh, of course. It's never a sure thing.
Yeah.
You always have to be aware of the bigger picture. Like global economic changes can impact real estate everywhere,
Right.
even a place like Phuket. But there's actually an interesting trend that the article talked about. It seems like medical tourism is now a factor in Phuket's property market.
Really? I never would have thought of that. Tell me more.
So Phuket is becoming more and more known for its healthcare, high quality, but also affordable.
Okay.
So people are traveling there from all over for procedures and treatments.
Right.
And when people travel for medical reasons,
Yeah.
they need somewhere to stay,
Of course, makes sense.
sometimes for a long time.
So it's not just about vacation rentals anymore.
Exactly.
There's this whole other demand from medical tourists.
Right. And this actually connects to another trend that the article mentioned, the growing demand for luxury property.
Oh, right. They talked about beachfront villas and all the short-term rentals. It does sound pretty glamorous.
It definitely is. And it can be a really good investment opportunity. The article mentioned that rental yields for those types of properties, especially during those peak tourist seasons,
Yeah.
can be really significant, up to 10%.
Okay, now I'm picturing myself on a beach again. But let's get back to the practical stuff for a sec. The article mentioned that the legal side is even more important with these luxury properties.
Yeah, the stakes are higher
Right.
and the rules can be more complicated. That's where having a good legal team is essential.
Makes sense.
There are specific regulations about foreigners owning land, the length of leases, even what kind of businesses you can run from a property. It's not as simple as just booking a villa and renting it out on Airbnb.
So you really need to do your research.
Absolutely. Understand the zoning laws, get the right permits and licenses, and make sure every financial transaction is completely above board.
It sounds like having local experts on your side is crucial.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Real estate agents who really know Phuket,
Yeah.
lawyers specializing in property law, they can provide information you won't find anywhere else.
That's super valuable.
They'll help you through the whole process, negotiate for you, and hopefully help you avoid making any expensive mistakes.
Sounds like a good plan. So to wrap things up, it seems like Phuket's property market really does have something for everyone.
It does. It's a diverse market with a lot of potential.
But it sounds like it's not a place for snap decisions.
Definitely not. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time buyer,
Yeah.
you need to do your research, understand the market, understand the rules, and find those local experts.
Great advice. So for those of you dreaming of trading in the daily grind for a little slice of paradise, remember, do your research, find the right people, and make a plan. Owning property in Phuket can be an amazing experience.
It can be life-changing.
But like any adventure, a little planning and knowledge goes a long way.
Well said.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the Phuket property market. Until next time, happy exploring.